for today is conversational AI. I hope I'm loud and clear and you can see the presentation. Now in this topic, we'll talk about what is conversational AI and how we can do it responsibly with the help of Azure services. So as a concept of conversational AI, it's very important for all of us is to know what exactly conversational AI means. Now, as we talk about conversational AI, fundamentally, it's an AI component, which is set of technologies behind automated messaging and speech-enabled applications that offer human-like interactions between computer and humans, which means that we create conversation. We create conversation which communicate like a human by recognizing speech and text, understanding intent, deciphering different languages, and responding in a way that mimics human conversation. Applied conversational AI requires both science and art to create successful applications that incorporate context, personalization, and relevance within human to computer interaction. Conversational design is a discipline dedicated to designing flows that sound natural and is a key important part of developing conversational AI applications. You might have heard of a term called chatbot. Now, through chatbot, which has gained popularity, conversational AI solution can be offered over both text and voice modalities, and hence various channels and devices that offer support these modalities from SMS and web chat for text modality to phone and smart speakers for voice modality. The best conversational AI offers an end result that is distinguishable from could have been delivered by a human. And all of this have different aspects on what has been communicated and what should be expected. So this basically is a solution which enables a dialogue, which enables a conversation between human and machine. Yes, bots is one of the integral part of it, but let's talk about what exactly happened behind the scenes. How does conversational AI work? Because conversational AI uses various technologies such as automatic speech recognition, ASR. In addition to ASR, it also have to use natural language processing, advanced dialogue management, and machine learning to understand, react, and learn from every interaction. So what basically happens is, while a person, a human communicates, I forgot my account password. Let's assume a dialogue which starts that, yes, I forgot my account password. Please help. Now we have technologies like NLP and ASR, which is automated speech recognition, works out in listening this. And when they listen, then they consume NLP to comprehend, and then dialogue management to form a response, and natural language generation to offer a correct response. So when we talk about components of conversational AI, we talk about listening, we talk about comprehending, we talk about forming a response, and we talk about offering a response. First, an application receives the information input from the human, which can be either written text or spoken phrases. And if the input is spoken, ASR also known for understanding voice. And that's where voice recognition comes into the picture. While ASR translates spoken words to text, machine understands it. And second step, starts, where the application should decipher what text means, and it uses natural language understanding, which is one part of natural language processing, to understand the intent behind the text. Next, the application forms the response based on the understanding of text intent using a component called dialogue management. Dialogue management further orchestrates the responses and converts them into a humanly understandable format using NLG, which is natural language generation, which is one part of NLP. The application then either delivers the response in the text or use speech synthesis, which is the artificial production of human speeches or text to speech to deliver the responses over a voice modality. Last but not least is the component responsible for learning and improving the application over time. This is called machine or reinforced learning, where the application accepts corrections and learns from the experience to deliver better response in future interactions. Now, this basically performs an important part of conversational AI. That's where we can use it in different segments. Before we move ahead, let us now understand what is fundamental difference. What is fundamental difference between conversational AI and a chatbot? And what can conversational AI be used for? Yes, it is very important for all of us to understand what is the difference between a chatbot and conversational AI. Conversational AI and applications around conversational AI can be programmed with varying levels of complexity, resulting in dramatically different end products, which can be used as personal assistants to facilitate conversations between customers and businesses, and within the businesses to automate operations. The simplest example of conversational AI is application around FAQs or bots, which you may be interacted with before. These are the basic answers and response machines and also known as chatbots. However, while we talk on what should be typed, what keyword should be worked out, the next level of maturity which is expected from conversational AI comes with virtual personal assistants, which are kind of Apple Siri or Amazon Alexa or Google Home. They serve a general purpose and are linear and do not carry context from one conversation to the next. These assistants use ASR and NLP but have simple dialogue management. Going forward and complexing the artificial intelligence, we have virtual customer assistants, which are more advanced conversational AI systems that serve a specific purpose and therefore are more specialized in dialogue management. You have probably interacted with a virtual customer assistant before, as they are becoming increasingly popular as a way to provide customer service conversations at scale. These applications are able to carry context from one interaction to the next, which enhances the user experience. On the same level of maturity, virtual customer assistants and employee assistants creates a difference. And that is an important part in different channels like web chat interfaces, like emails, social media platforms, or voices for that matter. And all of this is nothing but conversational AI. Are you all with me? Any questions on this? You can raise your hand if you have any questions. Okay, I have Saif Ali asking about ESR. So it's ASR, Saif. It's not ESR. It's ASR, which is automated speech recognition. So there are four components which you should be aware of. ASR, which is automated speech recognition. Then we have NLU, which is natural language understanding. Then we have dialogue management, and then we have NLG, which is natural language generation. NLU and NLG are both part of NLP. You're welcome, Steph. Thank you very much. Now, let's try and understand what are the main challenges in conversational AI. What do you think? I would want you guys to think about it. Think for 2 minutes and I'll wait for response. Please raise your hand. I'll phrase the question. What are the main challenges in conversational AI? Okay, I can see responses in chat. Mixed language, accents, vocabulary. Good guesses. Yes. Good one, Ali. Absolutely, Advitya. So let me summarize this. Conversational AI faces challenges which require more advanced technology to overcome. You have most likely experienced some of the important challenges which you just spoke, like constantly changing communication, from languages, dialects, accents, to sarcasm, emojis, and slangs. There are a lot of factors that can influence the communication between human and machine. Conversational AI system need to keep up with what's normal and what's the new normal with human communication. Second important challenge is security and privacy, as Ali mentioned. Because when dealing with sensitive personal information that can be stolen, conversational AI application must be designed with security in mind to ensure that privacy is respected and all personal data are kept confidential. And last but not least is discovery and adoption. Because although conversational AI applications are becoming increasingly easy to use and normalized for general population, there are still challenges that can overcome to increase the number of people who are comfortable using technology for a wider variety of use cases. And that's why it's very important for all of us to understand what are the challenges and then frame a solution for your customers or for your industry as such. Now we spoke about 5 important factors from AI perspective which are needed, which is ASR, NLU, dialogue management, NLG, and machine learning. Now, let's try and get a bit deeper in understanding what is ASR and why is ASR important. Now, ASR is automatic speech recognition, which is an essential parameter for a conversational AI application that receives input by voice. Because ASR enables spoken language to be identified by the application, which is the foundation for a positive customer experience. If the applicant cannot correctly recognize what customer has said, then the application will be unable to provide an appropriate response. The quality of ASR technology will greatly impact the end user experience. Therefore, it's important when evaluating conversational AI applications to inquire about accuracy of its ASR security models. How does ASR work? Which is fundamentally built using NLP, which has acoustic model which analyze phonemes and then convert them to correct intent. And this can be broken down into 3 parts. The customer speaks into a device, creating a sound wave, or application, depending on its level of advancement, reduces the background noise and normalizes the volume. Or a sound wave is broken down into different phonics, and those are further used for different type of intended analytics. The more advanced the models, the more accurate that ASR will be to correctly identify an intended input. However, we need to understand important factors and challenges which we can face to work on the problems with ASR. Because it is very straightforward, there are few challenges also, wherein customers or people start interacting from noisy places, maybe a mall or a theater or an airport, which also has a thick accent or bad reception from the background noises. This may even be difficult for a human to understand. So that becomes an important challenge for the machine. While working with alphanumerical characters, which are also difficult for ASR systems to accurately detect, because characters often sound very similar. Therefore, giving phone numbers and spelling out email addresses are 2 common utterances in customer service space. Both have high. So what do you think will happen when an ASR engine fails to recognize the input? Many times, customer has to repeat themselves over and over to clarify what they are trying to say. And this creates a bad customer experience. On the brighter side, there are many technological advances that are finding solutions to this problem as our world becomes more reliant on voice devices. In fact, interactions in conversational AI applications are uniquely positioned with 100% accuracy. So it's very important for all of us to understand what are important segments of conversational AI and how these are defined. Yes, as we discussed, in today's connected world, people are using a variety of technologies on conversational AI, starting from voice calls, messaging services, online chat applications, emails, social media platforms, collaborative approaches, and whatnot. And while doing this, the most important part is being responsible. We have seen 6 elements of responsible AI. However, when designing a bot, developers should consider an important factor of being transparent about a bot can and cannot do. Make it clear with that user on what can be expected as a communication. Enable the bot to seamlessly hand off a human as and when necessary. Ensure bot respects cultural norms. Ensure bot is reliable, data is secure, privacy is maintained, and assumes important accountability for all the bot actions, which are important factors for all of us to understand and consider the bots and the conversational AI. Any questions? Perfect. Thanks, Ali, Hussain, Noor, Piper, for confirming that. Then I have read your question. Can you elaborate if you speak up? Can you raise your hand, Jen? I'll unmute you. Okay, fine, no problem then. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who have responded. Now, as we have heard about the important factors of conversational AI and what are the technology models which are available, the strategy can be different to overcome every challenge these days with the help of conversational AI. Because when we think of business or opportunity, there are multiple use cases. When I say multiple use cases, it starts with examples within your office or within your day-to-day interaction as well. Conversational based artificial intelligence by default uses machine learning and NLP to communicate with users in a natural way. Now, what we need to understand is the surge which is happening in the industry for messaging apps or voice assistant platforms and increasingly being powered by AI. I know all of us might have used Noon and interacted with the customer service there. That's a real experience of conversational AI. All types of messaging applications voice assistant platforms, artificial intelligence, where there are more than 2.5 billion people using messaging services with roughly a dozen major platforms covering various geographies and demographics. There's a rapid adoption of messaging applications or probably voice assistant platforms, which is growing slowly. The sophistication of bots and therefore the conversational capabilities makes an important way to the industry. The most important part where you can work on these is use cases. Chatbots which generate leads for an organization for required sales department is one of the classical way to grow business. And it's not only about generating leads, but promoting products, presenting new products, purchasing assistance, purchasing support for new customers, nurturing the leads, customer service, merchandisers, and each of these business domain where there is an interaction, conversational AI comes into the picture. What we need to be clear is about the areas of context which influence whether to use AI or not. First part of it is demographic data and user interests. Second is the history of previous interactions. And third is type of the activity. All of these is maintained and managed around security and related staffs on where what can be applied. What we need to understand fundamentally is usage of conversational AI into different services, different data, different important factors where conversational AI will make a major difference. Before we jump on to the Azure, let me take a few questions. I have a question from Amar on what kind of data that we need to build AI conversation model. Is it as text or audio sections? Both of it will work, Amar. What models are available for retraining, transfer learning? That's the question from Dale. There are many models available, Dale. We will talk about few of them from Azure category in next 10 minutes. So please hold on for now.
और ना मैं कर लूँ.
Okay, that's all from the question side. We have a question from certificate which Marwa would answer or Hana would answer and support. Okay, so guys, now we have understood conversational AI, right? So let's talk about available models, algorithms in Azure for that matter. There are two important services which can easily create a user support bot solution for all your clients. Q&A Maker is one of them. So while we talk about Q&A Maker, which is a cognitive service which enables you to create and publish a knowledge base with built-in natural language processing capabilities. The first challenge is creating a knowledge base of question and answer pairs. So when we talk about creating a Q&A maker knowledge base, where user have to be to be involved in creating a knowledge base over a web portal and interface to create, train, publish, and manage different knowledge bases. It can provision a Azure resource segment and will identify different locations. We need to train them manually with our existing question answers, consume and use them with different client apps and chatbots. And the second one is Azure Bot Service. Because after you have created and published a knowledge base, you can use Azure Bot Service to create a bot for your users. You can create these custom bots by using bot framework SDK to write code and control the complete conversation. Because when we create bot services, it's very important for us to understand the factors with which we will create different elements of bots which are identified. Like Microsoft Azure, AWS also has a WAF bot control, WAF bot control, which gives the visibility and control over common persuasive traffic. And this creates an important factor, an important part for all of us to understand the importance of what needs to be done in defining the correct market segment. Apart from Azure and AWS, there are many other services which are available for you guys to adopt different models, different machine learning models for complete conversational AI. So guys, as we were talking about conversational AI, let's speak about few case studies which are already there in the industry. People have using it. So apart from the normal concepts on where it should be applied, let us try and understand how basically enterprises, corporate companies take conversational AI. No customer service rep wants to answer the same question 100 times a day. No sales representative wants to talk to people who aren't going to buy. And if you are leading an organization, you can't afford to let either of those scenarios to be a norm. Chatbot is an important part of conversational AI. 5 million questions answered by chatbots annually for a large enterprise in US makes it sensible. The company is none other than Uber into public transportation. With the help of conversational AI, they are successful to achieve 800% return on investment, increased bookings by 25%, saved $100,000 in customer service expenses in a single year, and over 500,000 questions answered every year. Bookings through chatbot generating 30% more revenue. And all of this is possible because of a feature called self service. With the help of self-service feature, 30 million passengers per year were supported and 375,000 visitors opt for this option every day. Understand the volume, guys. That's drastic. Next important case study I'm keen to talk about is any mail. 90% of big customers chat before buying. You might have heard email verification software called AnyMail Finder. 1 in 3 buyers use the chat system before making a purchase. 9 out of 10 big buyers use the chat system before making a purchase. An estimated 60% growth in the revenue coming only from the chatbots. The operator bot supporting in the growth of business is making it possible. Third important case study today is RapidMiner, which helped replacing all lead capture forms with chatbots. It's a data science application. 4,000 leads generated by chatbots in 1 hour. 25% of sales pipeline was influenced by these chatbots. RapidMiner replaced every lead capture with a chatbot on their site and helped everybody to consume the business. Next important case study is MongoDB. You might have heard of this database called MongoDB. This company, with the help of conversational AI, increased leads by 70% within a quarter, just within 3 months. It's a database development platform, as we all are aware of. Responding to 100% people without a delay of a second. So scalable chat service supporting the complete drift. This messaging tool helped them in creating a beautiful customer base. Fifth case study today is lead pages. The company, which is like WordPress or supporting drag and drop pages to create sites, saw a growth of 267% in the chat conversations with a conversion ratio of 36%. Guys, this is real examples. Sixth case study is Perfecto Mobile. Visitor to lead conversation and converting the requirement, the lead, increased from 6% to 20% in 6 months. Perfecto Mobile helped creating a correct knowledge base and analyze the leads for the correct closure. And then there is one more important case study called Charter Communications. 500% ROI achieved in 6 months, reduced live chat volume by 83%, decreased the time it took for customers to reset the passwords by 50%. And that's where these transactions played an important role. Apart from that, you might have gone through Facebook messengers, autoresponders, Tumblr, LiveMint, or those dating apps which provide you correct recommendation and option to chat. And all of these has correct aspect of where, what, and how this can be adopted. System integrators like Deloitte, and what's important and what's not from the chatbot is to be considered and divided into these digital footprints of organization. Now, what do we talk about? Why do we talk about chatbots as a whole? Or what is the difference between chatbots and live chat? Or what is a platform? All of this creates an important factor of what we achieve with these definitive case studies around the applications. I would want you to explore these two white papers beyond the hype of what could be applied into the chatbot segments. Now, with the conversational AI, we can have scripted chatbots as first type, intent recognizers as second type, virtual agents as third type, and human-like advisor as fourth type. And all of these will use some part of AI to achieve the references. There are many applications which will help you to learn, unlearn, rationalize, understand, and interact. I think I have an option to share these case studies with you over the chat on Zoom. Let me do that immediately. I'm sharing two important documents. Request you to download. One is a definitive guide for chatbots, and second is an internal Deloitte documentation to understand chatbot internals. The first one, which is definitive guide, is already there, and I think you guys can download it. Chatbot internals is in upload and should be ready in a few moments. Okay, the internal guide is also uploaded. I request all of you to download your copy. This cannot be sent over an email. I repeat, this cannot be sent over an email. No, it's on the chat, Noor. Because of the chat, it's I'm sharing it once again. People who have not received, just download it. It is not sent individually, guys. It is sent to the complete group. So I'm afraid you cannot say that you didn't receive. Please check your chats on Zoom chats, and you will have the document. I'm open for questions now. If you have any, we can interact. Thank you for patiently listening to me today. Go through these two documents. There's a lot to learn from them. Yes, Basam, go ahead and ask.
What should I do into this file that you just sent now?
Read that file, Basam. It will give you a good insight on different cases and types of chatbots.
Okay.
I'm sending it once again, guys, for the people who are requesting it. The people who have it can resend again. Yes, Noor, go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Emmett. Thank you for the sessions. First of all, second of all, I'm sorry about the documents, but I cannot see them on the chat, maybe because I'm using the browser. Is it possible to put them on a Google Drive and send over the link? Because it doesn't seem to be working with me.
Okay. I don't know if Google Drive would be possible, but I can do that on my personal OneDrive and share. Just give me a moment. So I've posted my SharePoint link. Request you to download it from there. Please confirm if you can download it. Go through the document and feel free to ask any question right now. So Noor, it doesn't cause any issue. It depends on self-service portals which you can have into the enterprise segments also for employees. Yes, to work on exercises, it will require a lot of study and exposure to the Azure cloud services also. It's not that easy. We will start our demonstrations from next session, where we'll do few demonstrations and work around it. Unless and until we don't know our data, we will never know what we are trading on. So all these exercises or practices which we try to do will always be conceptual. Abrar, both of the documents are on the same link. Sending the documents once again based on the request. That's right, Seth. It's all trying different models and improvising in the process of learning. There is nothing right or wrong. Dale says, is there any research being done on analysis of text or voice that is using existing technologies to detect stress, happiness, sadness, etc., emotional detection? Yes, Dale, that happens with face APIs as of now. For conversational identification of these motions, we have psychometric analysis, which is defined based on different parameters of text, visual, and vocal questionnaires.